Probably all know that we got the Genius Act already passed into law for stablecoins, which is great. The next step is we've got to get market structure passed. And I've actually never been more bullish on this getting through. We've already seen strong bipartisan support in the House. Now it's being deliberated in the Senate. This has not stopped the banks from coming in and trying to relitigate issues that were already settled in the Genius Act. In particular, they're trying to ban rewards on stablecoins, even though this is already settled into law. And we're making sure that the Senate knows that bailing out the big banks, which are having record profit margins at the expense of the American consumer, is not going to fly. That would be a foolish thing to do politically because there's 50 million Americans like you who have now used crypto, and they want to make sure that they can actually earn more money with their money. Who'd have thought? So visit standwithcrypto.org if you want to help and support. We'd love your help in contacting senators and congresspeople to make sure we get market structure passed and preserve rewards on stablecoins.
Hey, what's going on, Bull Runners? Welcome back to the channel. Ryan Huggins here, aka Win with Ryan. Big news just dropped that you absolutely cannot afford to miss. The SEC has pulled delay notices for XRP and Solana ETFs. Ripple is teaming up with Ondo to tokenize US Treasuries on XRP Ledger. And Coinbase's CEO Brian Armstrong, well, he's sounding the alarm on a major threat to your crypto rewards. These developments are game changers, but here's the twist. While opportunities are opening up, there's still a silent battle brewing that could undo everything. Stick around for the next couple of minutes because we're going to show you exactly how to navigate this chaos and secure your position before it's too late. We will head over to X to find out all the breaking news that's happening in the crypto world today. We will head over to Altcoin Pro University and check in with our top analysts about SEC pulling delay notices for Solana and XRP. Then we'll head over to the charts on TradingView and take a look at very key important levels of resistance and support that you definitely need to know about right now. Plus, we'll be taking a look at our long-term and short-term momentum waves and so much more in today's video. So if you are like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day doing crypto research like we do for you every single day on this channel, then make sure you subscribe right now. And if you are still feeling bullish about this current bull run, let us know by commenting 777 down below or your favorite crypto.
Do you love crypto, but are you worried about taxes shrinking your retirement nest egg? Here's the deal. Trading and selling crypto can trigger capital gains taxes eating into your wealth. A crypto IRA fixes that. Per IRS publication 590B, traditional IRA gains like those from crypto aren't taxed until distributed. That's why we've partnered with iTrust Capital, a leading crypto IRA company in the USA, to sponsor today's video. And they offer institutional grade custody for retail clients that want to set up their crypto IRAs for retirement, leveraging top storage solutions like Fidelity, Wells Fargo, and Coinbase Prime to keep your assets secure. To get started, simply click the link in the description of this video, sign up for free, and fund your account with cash. They also offer 401k rollovers or crypto transfers, and you can trade 24/7 with just 1% transaction fees and no maintenance costs. As always, I'm not a CPA or financial advisor, so consult one for tax advice, and we do earn a commission if you sign up using our link below to fund your crypto IRA account, but that helps support value-based videos like this. And iTrust Capital already has over 200,000 crypto IRA accounts and over $14 billion in transactions, proving they're trusted by smart investors just like you. So click the link below, get started now by funding your account today, and let's create generational wealth together.
Heading over to CoinMarketCap, check out the overall health of the crypto market today. We are up 1.5% on total market cap. We are trading at 3.92 trillion total market cap, and it's on $181 billion worth of trading volume in the last 24 hours. Fear and greed index just ticked up out of fear into the neutral zone, sitting at 43 out of 100. Altcoin season continues to fall to the downside, now at 63 out of 100. We want to be at 75 plus for a real deal altcoin season. And that is due to the fact Bitcoin dominance is continuing to climb, now in the 58th percentile at 58.2%. Massive day for Bitcoin ETF inflows, $564 million for the first day of the week. Ethereum ETF inflows doing well, also at $389 million worth of inflows. Top 6 cryptos by total market cap. Bitcoin number 1 at 114,300. Ethereum number 2 at 4,200. Tether at $1. Number 4, XRP at $2.87. At number 5, BNB at $1,026. Number 6, Solana at $211. Over on X, as you saw in the intro of the video, Brian Armstrong is continuing to fight hard for crypto in legislation. He goes on to say, I've never been more bullish or clear about the rules of crypto, but that hasn't stopped me. The big banks are coming for another handout, this time paid by our crypto rewards. Banks want to ban rewards to maintain their monopoly, and we're making sure that the Senate knows bailing out big banks at the expense of the American consumer is not okay. Coinbase even went so far as to come out and make an ad absolutely bashing the banks today. Take a look at this.
Can we actually take that part out of the Clarity Act?
Which part?
The part that allows for crypto rewards?
We've been working on this bill for months.
I know.
And we've already signed that part into law.
Yes, I know.
And now you're trying to undo the law.
It sounds so much worse when you put it like that.
And you already said allowing crypto rewards was fine with you.
I said that?
Yes, we definitely talked about how more reward options are better for customers.
But did we talk about the community banks?
What about them?
Well, I'm worried stablecoins will threaten their bank deposits.
Actually, there's no significant link between stablecoin adoption and community bank deposit outflows, so I'm not...
Think about the community banks. This is about protecting consumers.
Really?
You can either have crypto rewards or you can protect our monopoly.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, I meant protection for consumers.
Okay, so if crypto rewards are bad for customers, should we also ban your credit card rewards too?
Well, those are different.
How so?
They just are.
Got it.
So great job from Coinbase holding the feet to the fire of these banks and also Congress. SEC came out and it continues to push for crypto. Paul Atkins says it is time for the SEC to remove its thumb from the scale and allow the market to dictate the optimal reporting frequency based on factors such as the company's industry, size, and investor expectations. And of course, he's referring to his quote he put out earlier where the government should provide the minimum effective dose of regulation needed to protect investors while allowing businesses to flourish. And for that reason, I am fast tracking President Trump's proposal to equip companies with the option to report on a semi-annual basis rather than locking them into the current quarterly reporting regime. And this was a fantastic meme by Tyler Durden on X saying, the CIA, after successfully convincing everyone that a random Asian guy decided to create Bitcoin and then disappear forever. And then, of course, it's got these guys doing the dance down below. Just in, Swift is building blockchain ledger with 30 plus banks using consensus. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out over time. This is on the ETH blockchain, of course, consensus dealing with Ethereum and Swift moving in that direction. That's going to be extremely high as far as fees go. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Or will there still be some sort of backroom deal going on with Ripple? And speaking of Ripple, just in, Ripple teams up with Ondo to tokenize US Treasuries on the XRP ledger. This collaboration is expanding from a January 2025 integration, which leverages XRPL's 24/7 settlement and low-cost transaction, aligning with the projected $16 trillion tokenized asset market by 2030, as per Boston Consulting's Group 2023 report on blockchain's financial impact. Now, there is some skepticism going around because of the fact that this news is months old, the beginning of it, reflecting a gap between Ripple's ongoing developments and real-time social media updates, potentially influenced by market hype cycles documented in a 2021 Journal of Behavioral Finance study on crypto misinformation. So essentially, some people are claiming that this is all extra hype for XRP and for Ripple because of the potentially damaging news that did come out where Swift has decided to go with consensus on the Ethereum blockchain here. Coinbase has been going ham on X today with this big bank scenario, saying the big banks are coming for another bailout by attacking crypto. They don't want you to earn rewards on your stablecoin holdings. And Paul Grewal, who is the chief legal officer at Coinbase, also comes out and says big banks are trying to undo the law that already exists. They want a bailout because competing with products that too often suck is, well, hard. Essentially saying that the bank's current technology sucks and it's absolutely horrible, which we do all know is true. Stablecoin rewards need to stay. This bill is on the books for a month and is now the law. Heading over to Altcoin Pro, checking in with Curious Jay here. He says SEC is pulling the notices for Solana and XRP ETFs right now. And he kicks this off saying sources from CoinGate, and shout out to David Mockholtz, who's actually one of our original members at Altcoin Pro University. If you're looking to join a great community and get nonstop, really great, important news, definitely check out the link down in the description below for Altcoin Pro University. Context, the United States SEC has officially withdrawn all delays for pending spot ETF filings tied to Solana, XRP, ADA, Litecoin, HBAR, and others. It also removed delay notices connected to the Ethereum staking ETF futures. And this comes right after the SEC approved generic listing standards for crypto ETFs, which will take effect automatically on October 1st. With these changes, approvals could move forward much faster. The market reacted quickly with XRP, Solana, and HBAR all posting strong gains in the last 24 hours, more likely due to overall market bounce than specific news. However, it's worth paying attention to these tokens. And some thoughts, this is huge, and we may finally see a wave of altcoin ETFs beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. If Ethereum staking ETFs moves ahead, it could be a game changer by combining yield with institutional access. So October could set the stage for real ETF-driven rally across altcoins. And as he's touching on with the ETF tracker, that's why I'm paying very close attention to these ETFs every single video. By the way, if you're getting value from this video, make sure you subscribe, smash that thumbs up, and leave me a comment value down below. But like I was saying, crypto ETF tracker, there was $950 million worth of ETF inflows just today. Literally today alone, nearly $1 billion worth of inflows. So you can imagine the availability of high quality liquidity that can flow into XRP, Solana, HBAR, ADA, and so many more coins that are finally going to get their ETFs approved, more than likely in October. And at the bottom of this report that was put out by Curious Jay, you can see our community really getting engaged with the information that we provide here. Now that information came out this morning, and then we had the SEC confirms DPIN tokens are not securities. So SEC's on fire today. And on top of that, we also have 3 hours ago, Swift goes blockchain with the $150 trillion payment network joins crypto. So what actually happened? Well, on September 29th, Swift, the network with 11,000 plus banks used for payments, announced it is launching its own blockchain ledger. Now, why this matters is because it's going to be faster payments, interoperability, which works with fiat, huge adoption, could move up to $200 trillion annually. Major collaborators, Chainlink is going to be involved, Consensus with Linea, 30 plus banks, JP Morgan, Citi, HBC, BNP, Paribas, etc. And other protocols are considered, Ripple, Hedera, and Cardano. And as you know, this has been rumored for years that Swift was going to adopt crypto of some kind going forward. Why this is big? Well, Swift is finally on its way to bringing that $150 trillion payment volume to the blockchain rails. And this makes tokenization and stablecoins go mainstream and puts Ethereum and Chainlink in the spotlight. Ripple now has some serious competition with what they claim to be overthrowing. Ripple being considered isn't enough in this scenario, and it's clear that these giants are choosing their own tech stack. The best case is for Ripple to be used as a backup, not what we want to see from Swift. So if you like crypto news updates with great data behind it, you want to be involved in the general discussion of crypto with over 900 members worldwide, as you can see here on the map. We also have altcoin picks, DeFi yield picks, and airdrop information for multiple coins. Make sure you head down to the description below, click the link, get started today, and you do get a 14-day money-back guarantee as well. All right, heading over to the charts, taking a look. Now, I do want to give you guys some positive news that we have going on for XRP right now. And we talked about this 2 days ago. The fact that the short-term momentum wave had zeroed out at zero, and it was ready to cycle back up to the top for a 100 reset. Now, we're using the shaft trend cycle here for our short-term momentum wave. This is the 10 and the 300 for the fast and slow. Now, what you'll notice is at the 100 level, we had a nice pump while we were rising up to the 100, and we maintained that 100 for a little bit. before its cycle reset back to zero. Now, last time we had a pump to the upside on this cycle, it was a flippy floppy before a final move to the upside. So is it a possibility we come back down and create a new lower low? So right here, as we can see, when we maxed out to 100, it dropped down to reset to zero. It hit right here, started making its rally to try and break out of that symmetrical triangle pattern. Didn't quite make it, failed, came back down, and it also turned back red. Then it tried to go up again and then came back down before finally making the surge to the upside, where we went from 280 to the $3.15 range as of recently. Now, like we said yesterday on the video, we have very positive news because we are on the daily charts, and that was our second consecutive green candle for Heikinashi. Now we've just kicked off our third candle. When you're watching this video, it will be several hours from now. I'm recording ahead of time, so we'll see where the price is, but the short-term momentum has started to make its way to the upside. You can see that it did actually resist off of our $2.92 level here yesterday, and unfortunately failed right there. Let's go ahead and switch on the traditional candles. So price surged up yesterday, rejected off of that level. Now this new candle today, starting off as a doji, we would love to see this break through the $2.92, get out of these supply and demand zones, and start heading up to our next levels. Now, let's not forget where our very important levels that we've been following are. Levels of support here, $2.73. Level of resistance back up at 301, then 318, and then 345. Now, these are based off the weekly candles, traditional style candles, body close, right? So our current level of next resistance is here at that 303, and that's where these candle body closes are happening. Now, we do also have one we can go ahead and plug in right here as well. Let's turn on the magnet, use this weekly body candle close. Let's actually go ahead and make that one white since it's overhead, which will be resistance. So now we rise up to the upside, looking at $2.94 will be a resistance. We need to break through that on the daily charts. After we surge through there, what I want to see happen is we get up to this $3, reclaim this as a support before October 6th. Because if you've been watching my videos, you know what happens. The new full moon will kick off on October 6th. So if we can have some positive energy rising into the new full moon, we can have continued surge. And the reason we cover this is because if you go back in history and you look at this moon phase indicator, it does give a pretty decent sign. I'm not saying this always comes to play, but for example, this was a full moon, which gives you full moon power energy to the upside. We were also bullish in our long-term momentum wave, and our short-term momentum wave had maxed out at the 100. So that was a big combo there. Now, when we're taking a look at this one right here, well, we were getting very close to the top of our short-term cycle, and we were coming to the downside on our long-term cycle. So it kind of just chopped sideways here. I mean, it did have a pretty nasty drop, but coming back up basically to that break even before new moon energy, which is bearish, did turn on. Then we had this full moon as of recently. The last full moon kicked on September 7th. And we did get a nice little pump there when you expand it. The new moon kicked in and we had a severe drop. In fact, we had that crazy liquidation day. And then we had a little challenge back up and another liquidation day. But good news, we did hold 272 as a support. That's why I would like to get to $3 holding as a support. Then the new full moon kicks in and we surge that to the upside. So upside, like I said, we have 294, 95-ish, then $3, then 318, then 346. Those are closed body candle weeklies that we have to surge to the upside. If for some reason we fail and we start to get momentum to the downside, we had some bad news today for XRP with this Swift choosing consensus instead of XRP, but we did not have a price crash, which is very positive. We do have that support at 272. And if we lose that 260, but if we lose these supply and demand zones and we continue to fall, there is a possibility we even break all the way down into $2.22. But for now, I am getting more bullish, which is great. The daily short term's turning up. We can also see Our daily long-term momentum has started curling up. We would like to see this break above the 0 line before I say we're bullish again. I don't ever consider ourselves bullish until we break that line. Like even here, we weren't bullish yet. We ran up a little bit, but we had already started to peak out or max out. Right now, we're building that momentum to the upside. Also, when we take a look at the weekly, that short-term momentum cycle has not reset to 0 yet. Look what happened last time our short-term momentum cycles reset to 0. Right here, nearly 0. Boom, massive pump from 55 cents all the way up into the $3.40. Then we had a reset, and that was a very gnarly reset. It was not exciting, but then we had the pump when it finally started making its way to the 100 level, which went from 211 to our new all-time high of 366. Same thing applies with Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin. Had it reset to 0, it finally actually made its push to the upside, 58,000 up into 106. Then we had a short-term reset. Now, these are weekly candles, so that's a long time here, but you can see it did reset to 0, and then it made its next move from 80,000 up into the 120,000. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Same scenario. Back on September 2024, we had this nice move from these levels here at 2,300 up into 4,100. And then the shaft cycle reset back to 0. And that was a massive pullback. On its way to the upside on the weeklies here, you can see we did push nicely to the upside. And during that cycle resets from 1,500 all the way up to 4,900. And when we take a look and overlay the moon cycles, we can see the full moon here and pump to the upside, new moon, pullback, full moon, pump to the upside, new moon, pullback, full moon, pump, new moon, pullback. So we will continue to watch this. Now, one thing I am actually excited about with XRP, if we do get the breakout, which it will eventually come, it'll probably be our final push of the cycle. But this is now a bull flag. You got the flagpole, the pennant shape here. We have broken out of this level. Unfortunately, it came back and retested. If you go ahead and stretch this out more, it retests. So it broke out, right? And then it came back and retested that. Now it's making its move up. So that's bullish as well. But the way that this plays out to the upside, if it plays the full bull flag pattern, pays out to $4.60. So, if I'm taking profits at 440 or 450, I think I'm going to be doing well with XRP.